Hey pack leaders, is here. Our friends are protecting families, protecting the pack. It's been quite a day. It's been tanking quite a bit. What am I gonna be doing? Well, I'm gonna stick to the original plan. Really. Why? Cause I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't know how far. Um, and I really don't got the time to watch this stuff. So I'm at 3x leverage. So I think I have some ETH and some XRP that are stuck right now. I think my ETH can handle down to 450 or something like that. I think, I don't know. If it goes past 450, we'll take it and move on and kind of rethink where we're gonna go. I know that for the Dreambot Secret spot, I'm going to be adding a auto adjust to it, a trend auto adjust, a price action. I think basically all the auto adjust that Leverage Trapper has, we're just gonna import it over and use it. Okay, and it's just gonna be added to the auto run because it's kind of needed. So basically it'll be able to trade sideways and then change the settings because I know that when you're sideways it keeps stacking up positions, like it gets too heavy, right? And usually when I'm trading manually, I'll just put like maybe like 1,000 contracts and then make sure that they do another closing 1,000 contract right up top so it can kind of take turns and hit, right? But then right now it's doing 1,000, but then it's only selling 200, so it keeps building way too much kind of thing. So those are some settings that's already there. We just got to auto adjust it. Okay, so whether it's going sideways up or downwards, it can adjust with it. Of course, it doesn't feel comfortable when it's going down. You're like, oh my gosh, how much more? And yeah, I definitely don't like the feeling of it. But that's where the cash management is also very important, to make sure that whatever you made, you stick it to the side. And then once you start to see that the dust has settled, it's cleared, and starting to run back up again, then you could move it back over, trade another coin while this one recovers, and then ride it all the way up. Okay. So our main defense right now is that for liquidation price. And if it does hit it one day, you'd be like, oh, that's a signal. Okay, that it's continually go down, because once it hits it, it's like, man, it's coming down, and so that's my signal is my positions. And you notice that as you're trying to long this, if you're having a hard time making a profit and it keeps coming down and it keeps stacking up constantly, that's also a signal that it might be good to manually reverse the bias. Okay. And so I have something in there. It's just not smart. The thing is that once you go into automating it, it's you do get in trouble sometimes, because it's just gonna do one thing, expecting one thing, but if it goes against it, it turns against you. So you have the dollar cost averages, hopefully kind of save you, and then you dump your positions, and then it saves you again until eventually it starts to turn around. So it kind of gives you a huge margin of error because you're just at low leverage. Okay, but once it's in favor, then it can really take advantage of those scalping and back and forth and start to really build up quick. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm at. I expected maybe this to be a breakout fake out, but it may not seem, because it has been running for a full year, but it took us 2 to 3 years actually to get to this bull run. So I'm like, hey, if it ran up for 1 year from like 2,000 to 20,000, and then it took maybe another 2 to 3 years of I guess a slight 14K, and then it came back down to 12 and then 10, and then so that was like maybe a 3 year, I don't know, it's like two I mean it's like 2 years. Okay, 2 years. So it took 2 years to kind of get to the point where we are, 2 years plus another year to get to where we are, and then just kind of like take you up and then tank you down and then be done for the day. And with the stock market going up, everything's going up. Bitcoin follows the stock market, all-time highs for S&P. Yes, it'll bubble and pop one day, but is it today? Is it gonna keep going? If that pops, Bitcoin pops, S&P pops, we're in a whole bigger trouble, right? we have other things to worry about than fiat, dollar, and cryptocurrencies. Like we're gonna be like, how do I grow my own food kind of scenario. So we're just gonna hang in there, and manage the cash flow, hang in there, and wait and see. Usually, like as soon as you think like, oh, it gets you to the point where you get scared enough to sell, that's the point where like I've been there. Where I'm like, look, I'm 3x. It's gonna come down, and I had another like few more $100 before I got liquidated, but I totally couldn't handle it. If I waited this far, I'm already like that much far down. I might as well just take it, right? Just wait till the end. But I've learned that it just kind of scares you. You sell and then it just takes off again, and it'll take off maybe just as fast as it just came down, you know. And you're like, dude, I just held this thing and I didn't take the loss. Now, you know, 2 days later I would have been recovered. Like with crypto, it's like it's up and down like a lot, you know, and you're just gonna scare you and you know whatever. So based on my experience, I'm sure that you know, I'm gonna hang in there. You do what you gotta do. You'll learn from the experience after this, and you'll be like, hey, maybe that was a good idea that I got out, or maybe that was a bad idea. I didn't, you know, I stayed in there. So we'll see. To each their own, kind of thing, and we'll see what proves out. I know the other guys up there. I mean, they're using 10x, 20x, 25x. Yeah, I mean, as it comes down, and you're like, you have to get out, because if you don't, you will get liquidated. And so, because we can handle the swings, we don't have to be all scared. I mean, I would be, scared too. I'm like 25x, like, it's gonna go for the yellow. It's gonna hit, and then as it hits, it takes off, and then that's the whole thing about the key of low leverage is that it's so volatile that you have to have low leverage to handle the volatility, and it can recover so much faster, and it can tank just as fast too. Okay. So you can take your time, sleep well. You don't have to worry. You can get scared and stuff like that. And we'll see how things go. All right, we'll talk to you then. And then maybe about a day or so, we'll have the auto adjust in the TradeBot secret spot. Give it a little more smarts. And I think that after that, we're moving on to artificial intelligence. That's all I can do for now. I don't see any more that I can make it smarter somehow, whatever, other than putting it to AI. So then I'm gonna start my next phase of trying to do AI myself, while the other stuff's being developed. It'll be kind of a clunky-ish, I don't know, my first whack at it, and then improve it as I learn, and then I'll apply it to the next one when there's WebSockets and faster connections and live streaming data and multiple computers connecting to it and all this other cool stuff. So we'll talk to you then. Thanks for watching.